amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. Now give me an amen. Now how about a hallelujah? Hallelujah. It's show with no name time. Time for liftoff. Let's go. Lots to do today. You can say a lot or lots. Lots to do today, amigos.
Liftoff.
As we get ready for the summertime. Here we go. Come on.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time.
On Fawn Radio.
It's a show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
Hello, 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 show with no namers. Welcome. That's for you. For those of you who put in the time, the effort, the energy that it takes to learn a language. Or to learn anything, I should say. And you've got it. You guys collectively and on your own have figured out the secret to making learning fun, to making it enjoyable, to making it entertaining, enriching. And that is fucking awesome. And remember, you've got a lot of other great shows that practice that same philosophy. Shows such as Speaking with Confidence with Gretchen. Our newest show. It's on right after this show. Don't miss it because it is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And you've got the same shows, the classics, I should say. You've got The Salad with Dave Boyce. It's been on the air for since the beginning. Since day one. We're talking Dave Boyce and The Salad. Richard Vaughn, another one, since day one. Kyle Miller, well, he hasn't been here since day one, but he's been here lots of time. Lots, there it is. A hell of a long time. Download the free Vaughn Radio app and learn with us on the go.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. GrupoVaughn.com, where you can find everything from courses to materials for self-study. You've got a little bit of everything. And talking about materials, why don't we see what material we're going to highlight in today's Pop Quiz?
Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah.
quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz examen sorpresa here on the show with no name. And as you know, in the pop quiz section, we take a look at something from one of our Vaughn materials you can find at the Vaughn Tienda, or if you stop by one of our centers in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. If you live in one of those wonderful cities, please stop by. We'd love to meet you. And if you can't, well, you can always drop us a line on social media, and hopefully we'll be able to help you out. Echarte una mano. And even if it's, as I always say, you don't even have to go with the intention of signing up for a course or buying some material. Maybe you just need a little guidance, un poco de dirección, orientación. We can help you with that, and obviously at no cost. So free consultation, free level test. If you're interested, you can contact us or simply stop by. Hacernos una visita, stop by, pop in, stop in, drop by, and drop in. Esas 6 palabras significan lo mismo. See, sometimes English is easy, folks. All right, let's see what we're going to look at today. Today, we're taking a look at something from English on the Go. And I'm sure many of you have this book. If you do not have English on the Go, what are you waiting for? I know many of you are world travelers, right? Many of you get out there and you travel every summer or during the holidays to some really cool places, I might say. Based on the participation, you guys have been around the world, and I can't find my baby. I don't know, and I don't know why she's gone away, and I don't. All right, sorry, I'm getting carried away. Se me va la pinza. But what am I getting at? The way I've always learned, and thankfully, I was very lucky, and I traveled a lot when I was a kid. Okay, I didn't travel to a lot of places, but I did travel to Spain every summer, and that was enough to open my eyes. Now, of course, I traveled to other places as well, but it was primarily Spain. And you know how much I learned every summer just by living here, by opening my eyes, by opening my ears, and just paying attention and trying and asking and looking, oh, ¿qué significa esto? Y esto, y esto. And you know what? I still learn like that today. 47 years later, 46, because I came to Spain for the first time when I was 18 months old. O sea, 18 meses, mi primera vez en esta tierra. Then you wonder why I love Spain. I've been here longer than some of my students. So in the end, we learn by looking, by doing, by asking, not just sitting in a classroom, but also going out there into the real world and reading the signs. That's something I love to do. And even those really bad magazines on the airplanes, they used to have them. Now you don't see them. We're cutting corners, recortando gastos. But I remember I used to, okay, you're on a 7-hour flight. This is before we had Wi-Fi and all that stuff. And I remember just picking up those magazines and saying, oh, okay, en España se dice así. Okay, interesting. And I have learned, I can't even think of how many things I learned just that way, just by absorbing them, by keeping my feelers out there. My feelers is como el radar. Beep, 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 beep. And, just picking things up on the go. And that's why today, and that's why I wrote the book, and that's why today we're looking at English on the go. Aprende inglés viajando por el mundo. Again, I know you can't always afford to travel, but that's why I wrote this book. This book's going to take you to 30 different English-speaking cities, and we'll learn through the food. We'll learn through the local culture, history, business, sports teams, because you can learn from everything. Well, hey, yesterday we looked at the Buccaneers, the Rowdies. Remember, we were talking about Tampa Bay. Well, if you didn't know the word rowdy and you have a young boy, you need to know that word, because boys generally are rowdy. And if you like wrestling, el pressing catch, well, then you might remember it from a long time before this team ever came about. Rowdy Roddy Piper, the famous wrestler. Hey, we looked at the Ultimate Warrior yesterday. Well, do you remember the guy who wore the kilt? The kilt is esta falda escocesa. Well, his name was Rowdy Roddy Piper. Pendencioso, I think you say was the word. It means loud and just, you're not exactly graceful. When you walk into a room, everybody notices, and usually it's not like, oh, wow, look at how nice. It's like, oh, my God, wow, what just, the expression, another expression is, look what the cat dragged in. Mira lo que acaba de entrar por la puerta. Look what the cat dragged in. Y eso, see how everything's connected to pop culture? That's a Poison album. Remember the group Poison? Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn, just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. So we can even learn idiomatic expressions from a Poison album title. You remember Poison, those hair bands? They had a lot of really good songs. Talk dirty to me. I was a big Poison fan. Bret Michaels all the way. He was the lead singer of Poison. I don't know if any Poison? Am I the only Poison fan here? They were a rock band during the hair metal time. And then, they continued to put out albums here. But then Kurt Cobain came, and that kind of killed the whole hair and makeup thing really quickly. He was saying, guys, you don't need that. If your music's good, you don't even need to take a shower, which we saw. That was the other extreme there, right? Grunge was, hey, I don't even need to, take the eye boogers out of my eyes. Nosotros decimos mocos de los ojos, las legañas. All right, well, amigos, we've already learned, wow, just by shooting the breeze, estando de palique aquí, we've already learned some totally native stuff, but let's learn some more. This is a little excerpt from English on the Go, Aprende Inglés Viajando por el Mundo. As I said, this is my 4th book, and it just shows you how you can go places and learn without opening a book, so to speak, but just learning. The perfect example. I went to Puerto Rico when I was a kid. I have family there in Puerto Rico. And I remember we were on the highway, and I guess I didn't realize it when I was younger in Spain because I was still too young. But I was of the age where I could reason and read. And I said, oh, Mom, why does it keep saying salad everywhere? Y claro, yo pensaba que salida meant ensalada. I was translating it like salad, salida. And I'm like, salad, salida, is that how you say it? Then I found out that it means horny woman. Esta salida. No, but seriously, that's how I learned the word exit. You want to know how I learned the word exit in French? Thank you, Charles de Gaulle Airport. Thank you for making it obvious. Well, above it, it says exit. It says sortie. It says salida. So there you go. Horny women, exit, exit. Well, also, folks, we learn by joking around, right? ¿Dónde está la salida? Oh, I don't know. I think she left before, right? We learn, and that's why we always apply humor in the show, too, and we even have a joke section. But it's not time for that. It's time for your pop quiz. Listen carefully, because afterwards, I'll have a couple challenges for you. We have to stop and refuel, or we're going to run out of gas. I'm glad we found this gas station. Otherwise, we would have been stranded. We were running on fumes, and we're probably lucky that the last part of the road was downhill. We really coasted down that last hill. En Inglaterra no dicen gas, sino petrol. Y su versión de gas station es petrol station. Siempre puedes decir, where's the Shell or Exxon station. La mayoría de la gente conoce estas marcas. To coast significa mover sin esfuerzo. Por eso las roller coasters, montañas rusas, se llaman así. Roller indica rodar. Y a partir de la primera bajada, lo que hacen es rolling y coasting. You'll hear this at the pump. ¿Va a pagar en efectivo o con tarjeta?
Are you going to pay in cash or by card?
¿Quieres sin plomo?
Do you want unleaded?
¿Podría dar marcha atrás un poco?
Could you back up a bit?
Por favor, apaga el coche.
Please, turn off the car.
El total es de $35.48.
That comes to $35.48.
You'll say this at the pump. Llena el depósito.
Fill it up. Fill up the gas tank.
$20 de sin plomo.
$20 worth of unleaded.
¿Tienen servicios?
Do you have a restroom?
No me gusta el autoservicio porque tengo que echarme la gasolina.
I don't like self-service because I have to pump my own gas.
Siempre derramo gasolina cuando cojo la manguera.
I always spill gas when I grab the gas pump.
Lead es plomo y se pronuncia lead. Pero esta palabra puede ser confusa porque también se pronuncia lead, aunque en este caso, lead significaría liderar. Por eso Led Zeppelin, Zeppelin de plomo, optó por escribir la palabra lead como suena, para que la gente no lo confundiera y dijera Led Zeppelin. Gas idioms. Pisa fuerte.
Step on the gas.
Eres la leche.
You're a gas.
Nos lo pasamos genial anoche.
We had a gas last night.
Estuvimos chismorreando toda la mañana.
We've been gassing all morning.
¿Te has tirado un pedo?
Did you pass gas?
Este coche chupa gasolina.
This car is a gas guzzler.
Voy a echarle sopa al coche.
I'm going to gas up.
Se quedó sin energía o fuerzas antes del final de la carrera.
He ran out of gas before the end of the race.
Ahora sí que lo estás haciendo genial.
Now you're cooking with gas.
No le eches leña al fuego.
Don't pour gas on the fire.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to groupovaughan.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town.
That's right, folks. If you want more information about Vaughan Town or any of the initiatives over here at Vaughan, all you have to do is go to groupovaughan.com. That's our website, groupovaughan.com. You can also find us on all the different social media platforms. You've got the Vaughan Radio app, which is free English classes, and you've also got what I think is awesome, podcasts. Because let's be honest, podcasts are one of the most popular forms of entertainment, learning, hobbies. I mean, podcasts have become such a powerful medium these days. And I think they're great, honestly, as somebody who's always doing a million things. Well, it's great that I can, go to the gym and learn about creating better sleep habits through neuroscience. I mean, think about that. I'm getting a workout, doing exercise, and at the same time, I'm learning how to be healthier by listening to a neuroscientist. By the way, if you want to listen to that podcast, it can get a little heavy sometimes, even for me, a native speaker, because they talk about brain chemicals. The podcast is Huberman Lab, con H-U, Huberman, pero se pronuncia Huberman Lab. And it's kind of a how to sleep better, how to have better relationships, how to do this, that, and the other thing. But this isn't just my opinion. No, this is researched, it's based on studies, and it's also based on neuroscience. So using neuroscience to explain the way we eat, the way we sleep, things that our body needs, things our body doesn't need. Why is a cold shower good in the morning? Why these crazy... Now, you can decide whether you want to do it or not, but at least there's an explanation behind it as well. And I think that's great, because if I had to watch a YouTube video, I don't think I have an hour to sit down and watch a YouTube video. I really don't, to be honest. So what do? Well, I have that podcast. I listen to it. I don't even have to look at my phone. That's the greatest part. I don't even have to look at my phone, and I'm learning. So don't underestimate the power of podcasts. All right, let's see, my amigos. Now, that chapter in the book was a pit stop. I didn't share a city with you. I shared what I call a pit stop. And you'll notice I have these in all of my books. Okay, in the Vaughn, they're called Give Me a Break. In the Milk books, they're called Give Me a Break. Son como mini descansos, pero aún así llenos de contenido, de vocabulario. So this was a pit stop because, sure, if you're on a road trip, you might have to stop and get some gas. Another one of the pit stops in this specific book is grabbing a bite to eat, picoteando algo, right? Grabbing a snack on the go. So you'll learn all that practical stuff while you learn fascinating, fun facts about some of the most awesome cities ever. So let's review a couple things. British people and American people, we do not agree when it comes to cars at all. We put gas in our cars. They put petrol in their cars. We go to a gas station. They go to a petrol station. We put things like suitcases in the trunk. They put things in the boot. Our engine of the car, for us, is under the hood. For them, it's the bonnet. The bonnet. We also looked at the word coast, right? Coasting is moving without much effort, right? Y piénsalo en este sentido. A ver, del contexto lo vas a entender. Man, I don't know how you graduated. You really coasted through high school. Hacerlo, estar en ralentica, así como que te mueves por inercia, right? You didn't really make too much of an effort. Quite the contrary of the expressions we looked at yesterday on the show, right? So coast, the idea. And also a coaster es una montaña rusa, but also a coaster es un posavasos. Well, I guess this way your drink won't coast. No se mueve tu bebida sin mucho esfuerzo, right? It makes sense. And if not, make it make sense. That's part of your job as the student too. Esto no tiene sentido. Pues I'm sure you can find some kind of way to connect the two ideas in your head. Remember, it doesn't have to be real. It has to be real to you. So if you're like, bueno, para mí, yo si me acuerdo de esta palabra, pues ya lo tengo claro. If it works, it works. Also, I said at the pump, we call it the pump. You pump gas, la bomba. Well, I guess there's a pump in there that's bringing the gas out of the gas tanks underground and putting them into the car through the hose, right? So some different kinds of gas. We've got unleaded, sin plomo, and diesel. I know you know diesel, but we don't call it diesel. We call it diesel, to back up or to go in reverse. Beep, beep, beep. If you're a truck, it beeps. Fill it up. There's one I learned from going to the gas station with my mom. I would go to the gas station with my mom, and she would say, fill it up. She would roll down the window and say, fill it up. And after 10 times, I'm like, I guess that means fill it up with gasoline. Fill up the tank. All right. So some really good vocabulary. And oh my God, folks, we have to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll give you what I want from you in our pop quiz. Plus, we've got our Say What soundbite, spelling bee, homophones, and so much more. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. This is part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, you can learn and laugh with us with the Vaughn Radio app, or as I said before, you can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms. All right, folks, we're going to kick off with today's pop quiz. The first one, I want you guys to tell me how to say a todo gas. I think you say a todo gas? Yeah. No, a toda. A todo gas. How would you say that? Estamos yendo a todo gas. Well, that's your first one. It's a totally native. I can think of 2 different ways to say it. So use an example, use a real example. Aquí vamos a todo gas. Number 2. This is an adjective that I want you to use. That means you are unable to leave. Varado. Tirado. Me dejaron tirado. I think of a deserted island. I think varado. Yeah, I've heard varado, tirado. That one is number 2. And we said that one also in the audio. And the third one, which I chose this one not only for its literal meaning, but its figurative meaning. And it's cuesta abajo, hacia abajo. Cuesta abajo o hacia abajo. I want you to use all 3 of those in context, preferably in your own context. Number 1, the expression a todo gas. Number 2, varado, tirado. And number 3 is cuesta abajo. Let's see if you know those and know how to use them in context in today's pop quiz. And right now, we're going to keep going with today's Say What soundbite. Say what? Yes. Remix. Say what, soundbite. All right, as always, I want you to listen carefully. We are going to hear a famous person speaking now, and I want you to analyze what you hear and report back to me. Me lo dices a mí. In your best English. Hopefully, before the end of the show, after the fourth listen, somebody will be able to get all of it. All right? As always, you've got 4 chances, but initially, I just want to know what you heard in your best English. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
It's all preparation. I mean, you have to get there to that point. What John was saying, there's a lot of things that are subtly happening in the scene. I haven't seen it since it came out, but
Woo. All right. But again, remember, the harder it is here, the easier it's going to be out there next time you're in a pub in London. You'll be like, I'm ready for this. I've been training my ear every day on the Say What soundbite. All right, here it is for the second time.
it's all preparation. I mean, you have to get there to that point. What John was saying, there's a lot of things that are subtly happening in the scene. I haven't seen it since it came out, but
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola de 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit. We're not taking a look at This Book is the Shit today, but if you haven't taken a look at it, give it a look. It is awesome. It's my latest book. I mean, I think all my books are awesome, or I wouldn't have wasted my time writing them. It takes a long time to write one book, never mind 5. But hey, they say it's something you've got to do in life. I don't recommend it to everybody, to be honest. Because especially if you're restless like me, inquieto, you got to be there for hours and hours, and you got to read it, what you've written, and reread it and reread it and read it aloud and say, oh, is that the best word, or can I choose a better word for this situation? All right, well, my amigos, you've got your pop quiz, you've got your Say What soundbite. Let's see who's with us in the house. We've got Open Waters checking in. What's up, Open Waters? Great to have you with us. Open Waters says, morning, friends. Hello, hello. David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. Good morning to you, David. Great to have you on board. Born to Iron Man says, hiya, folks. Hello, sir. Open Water says, let's knuckle down. Great one. To knuckle down. We looked at it yesterday. And Open Waters, how do I know you're going to remember it? Because you just used it. Remember how important proximity is. Because if I ask you what was that word we looked at back in 2004, you're going to say, I'm going to say, I don't know. What did I teach you in 2004? So really, the closer you are to the lesson, to the pronunciation, you got to use it. You got to. It's the only way to remember it. Because if you write it down, sure, it increases the odds of remembering it, correct? What's the problem? How many of you go back to your notes and review them? Okay, I think there were some crickets in the house over here. So it's essential that you not just use them, but that you repeat anything new that you hear, anything strange that you hear aloud, en voz alta. Don't worry, you're allowed. Estás permitido. You're allowed, you're encouraged and allowed to say things aloud here on this show. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol says, morning, fantastic show with no-namers. Rowdy alborotador. That's a difficult word over there. Pendenciero, as we looked at yesterday. Yeah, right? Was it yesterday? She says, ¿Dónde está la salida? ¿La rubia? ¿Morena? Del fondo a la izquierda. He. I guess I'm not the only one making that joke. Excuse me, I just sneezed, so I lowered the microphone volume so I didn't sneeze in your ear. Sorry about that. Cosas del directo. Let's see. Chris says, you're a gas, mates. You're a gas. Sois una pasada. La hostia would be a good translation. You're funny or you're fun. En la hostia en sentido bueno. Digo, sois la hostia. Me parto contigo. You're a gas. And you know what song reminds me of that? Money, get away, get a good job with more pay, and you're okay. Money, it's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. Pink Floyd, Money. The second line in the song. Money, it's a gas. That's awesome, Chris. Great vocabulary and wonderful pun there, since we're talking about gas. Let's see. Just don't pass gas. Tirarse un pedo. Don't pass gas. Yeah, to pass gas is very different. All right, let's see. Open Waters is participating in today's pop quiz. And he says, after a slow start, un arranque lento, the economy is now running at full throttle. Great one. Full throttle. And the word throttle is acelerador. Okay. It's also válvula reguladora. Right? So regulating. So at full throttle. Great one, Open Waters. The next one. She stood me up and now I'm stranded. Dar plantón, you say? To stand someone up. She stood me up. Excellent. Open Waters. Totally native there. She stood me up and now I'm stranded. Varado. Tirado. Excellent. I hope it's not based on a true story. All right. And the next one. From now on, your relation will go downhill. Your relation or your relationship will go downhill. So it can be literally, oh, wow. To get to the restaurant, we have to go downhill. but your English is going downhill, algo que nunca quieres oír de tu profesor. Then you've got a problem there. If your English is going downhill. Excellent job, Open Waters. Also, while I've got you here, folks, Open Waters, you reminded me, this week's question of the week, if you'd like to participate, what is the most flattering compliment you have ever received in your life? If you can tell us that in around a minute, well, I'd love to hear from you. You can record it on your phone and send it to aalonso@grupovon.com. aalonso@grupovon.com. All right. And so far, I know it's early in the week, but let me check. So far, nobody's participated. Uh-oh. Well, again, you guys decide if this section continues or not, because if only one or two people participate, or worse, nobody participates one week, then we'll bury it. Lo enterramos. All right. But that'll, again, the ball, para usar una expresión totalmente nativa, the ball's in your court. It's still early in the week, but you shouldn't think like that. You should get it done and send it to me as soon as possible. And then this way, we get to hear your amazing voice and we get to hear you express yourself in English. So this week's question of the week, what was the most flattering compliment you have ever received? Again, keep it at a minute because I have some students and I'm just going to stop because right now I'm editing them. But I shouldn't have to edit it from a minute 50 to a minute 20. Please don't give me extra work. It's called following instructions, and it's really important, especially in a class, because you could get all the test right, but if you don't hand it in the way it was supposed to be handed in, then you'll be penalized. So again, that's a really important part of the exercise. If you go into the 2-minute mark, which means anything over 120, really, because 20 seconds to say hello and 1 minute, to say hello and goodbye, you got 20 seconds and you got 1 minute to explain your answer. So if you can't do it in that time, again, what I'm not going to do is every week edit people's audios, because then I shouldn't have to do that. You should just follow the directions. I'm not going to say names because if you're thinking, is it me? Then it is. And don't make me be that teacher. I don't want to be el regañón over. I don't like to be the teacher who's like, make sure. But at the same time, you're not getting the exercise then. And then I have to say, hello, we're doing this exercise. You can do a different one over there if you'd like. But this is the one the rest of the class is doing. So that's a really important part of the exercise, because it shows me you know how to be concise and effective with your communication. If it takes you double the time, it's like, if you have to work 2 hours more than everybody at your office, you're doing something wrong, or you have too much work. And then you have to talk to them and say, listen, I'm doing the job of 2 people right now. For example, which is sometimes that happens when people leave a company, things like that. And usually it should be a temporary thing. But if especially, I remember when I first moved to Spain, in fact, I had students say, I didn't leave work till 8:30 last night. I'm like, your ass would be fired in the United States. Oh, yeah. 8:30. What's taking you so long? I hire you to do your job in 8 hours. If you work a normal work day, 9 to 5, as we say, and you're leaving 3 hours later. What the fuck are you doing for 3 hours? That's the mentality. But here it's a little bit different. It's, ayer estuve 12 horas. I'm like, you are either overworked, which that can be a problem. It's a reality. And then there's the third option. So option 1, you're overworked. Option 2, you want to look like you're working more than everyone else, so you work more hours than everyone else. But in my country, that doesn't work like that, right? They usually applaud efficiency. Getting things done in an efficient, timely manner. And I've seen this many, many times in big companies. You don't like your family. You don't like your home life. And you would rather be at work 12 hours a day than face your wife and your kids, or vice versa. Face your husband and your kids, whatever you're running from. And believe me, I've been in many, many corporations, big corporations, okay? With Vaughn, as you know, we teach corporate English. And I saw a lot of people, I'm like, you really hate your home, huh? Anything to not, I mean, people coming in on weekends. It's like, you know, you're not that important. I hate to tell you, you know, I don't even think well, I'm sure Elon Musk works on weekends, but he takes a lot of drugs too. So, you know, he gets, he seems to get through it that way. Anyhow, let's see what we've got here. I've got a lot more participation. Born to Iron Man participating in our pop quiz. And he says, while they were cycling downhill at full speed, we had a flat tire and were left high and dry. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Radiohead, you're the best thing that I ever heard. The best thing that I ever heard. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. High and dry, great one. And he says at full speed, at full throttle was the one Open Water said. Both of them are correct. And stranded is correct, and high and dry. I knew we were going to get some great synonyms here. Chris Valrol says this show usually goes full speed. Absolutely. She says they left him high and dry, or maybe you were asking for it. Te lo estabas buscando, you want to say? So let me go back. They left him high and dry. Le dejaron tirado. Or maybe you were asking for it. The car is broken down. El coche está averiado. Now things are going downhill, on the decline. All right. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. All right. Open Water says, Jumpin' Jack Flash, it's a gas. Yes, great. Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones. He says it's a gas. I mean, just un buen rato, es un flipe. What was the word we said? That was a good word. A gas. We said, una pasada. It's a gas. Now, I got to say something. If you notice, both of those references are old school songs. So I will tell you this. I would never naturally say nowadays, oh man, you're a gas. Right? So that's a bit, de hecho, aquí pone dated, anticuado. But hey, doesn't mean you don't need to know it, because somebody might say, oh man, you're a gas. Whether it's dated or not, someone might still use it. I personally don't use it, but I've heard it many, many times. And as we know, it's in pop culture, in songs as well. All right, let's see. I'm going to give you guys some other ways to say it here. So the first one, you can also say, and it says here, a toda máquina. A toda máquina was the translation. A todo gas, a toda máquina. We also say full speed ahead. Full speed ahead or full steam ahead. Steam, que es vapor. And it means as fast as possible. The enemy's approaching from the south. Full speed ahead. A todo vapor. Mira, full steam ahead. Okay, y viene con ahead al final. So that was the one that I had in mind, but the ones you guys used are correct as well. We said stranded. We said high and dry. And the last one is downhill. And usually it's used with to go, right? It's because it's not a verb. Downhill is an adjective. Again, wonderful job to all my show with no namers. Incredible. Totally native stuff that we looked at there today. All right, let's see. Chris has got something to say about today's Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard a guy whose accent I can't pinpoint. He speaks a mile a minute. But I understood that you need to have something, I don't know what, to get to a certain point. All right, well, we're just missing some words there. The good news, we're going to hear it another 2 times. All right. Chris says, he also says he haven't. Oh, hang on a second. He hasn't, right? Porque el presente, the present perfect in English, haven't, I haven't, you haven't, pero he, she, or it hasn't. Okay, so he also says he hasn't seen something since he came out. All right, good. Since he came out or since it came out? Because if you say since he came out, I would say like since he let the world know he was interested in men. So hey, you say the same thing, no? Salir del armario, to come out of the closet. Well, you can say just to come out. He came out when he was in high school. Del contexto se sabe, salió del armario. So very big difference there between him coming out and something. Because if it's a movie or if it's a song, then it's released. And that's why that has become a huge anthem for the LBQT. I don't know the letters, I'm sorry. But it's become an anthem. I'm coming out tomorrow. I want the world to know. I'm gonna let it show. I don't think that's the original meaning of the song, but with time it was adopted. Hey, I love learning with music, and I know you guys do too. Chris Valles, I'm still thinking because thanks to you, I've remembered a few flattering situations. Well, that's great. Chris, that's exactly what I want. I want you guys to think. I want your wheels to be turning when you answer these questions. Some of them are easier, like, what's your favorite color? Okay. My favorite color is magenta because it reminds me of my house. Whatever. But some of them, like this one, you got to do some soul searching and really think about it because it isn't every day that we receive flattering compliments. All right, amigos, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with much more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. I can't believe we are halfway through today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Thank you to all of you for participating, for sharing with each other and with me, and most of all, for doing it with passion. If there's one kind of person, one type of person that I respect in this world above any, I respect a lot of people, some entrepreneurs, but anybody who puts passion into what they do, you gotta respect that. Because it means they're not just going through the motions. right? In English, we say to go through the motions means estar en piloto automático, ¿no? Hacer los movimientos que tienes que hacer, cumplir, right? To go through the motions. But you know the expression. Let's see if you know what expression I'm going to use. If it's worth doing, finish it. It's worth doing right. Si te vas a molestar en hacer un programa de radio, o una clase de inglés, o aprender a coser, do it with all your heart. Do it with the greatest of intentions. You can't go wrong that way. Because even if you make, progress a little bit faster, a little slower, it doesn't matter. You're always doing it with your whole heart. And that feels good, doesn't it? All right, amigos, we're going to kick things off in this half with our homophones. Then we'll listen to our Say What soundbite again. It's going to be a tough one today. And then we've got our most challenging, or at least what I think is our most challenging section on the show, our spelling bee. But let's kick it off with our homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right, my amigos, let's take a look at today's homophones. These are both pretty common words with, the first one having several meanings, figurative meanings as well. And the second one is pretty straightforward. No da muchas vueltas, no hay mucho misterio, I think you might say there. All right, a veces digo, ¿cuál sería la, right? It's straightforward, sin dar vueltas, piénsalo, ¿no? Es al grano. All right, so the first word is semilla, pepita. Okay, so when we talk about fruits, vegetables, right? También semilla that we plant in the ground, okay? That we plant or we sow, sembrar, right? What else? También es el germen, semilla de una idea, right? El germen para esa idea empezó con cuando oí este ritmo en mi cabeza y lo apunté, right? Also, it's in tennis they use it. In tennis, it's cabeza de serie. Oh, look at that. See, I told you. We're all learning here. Let's see. So, what else is it? Oh, in computing, it's sembrar también, semilla. Oh, I didn't know that. Subir, compartir. So it's sharing computer data. You can say data or data. Esa es negociable, eh? Data or data. Okay. What else? Okay, bombardear también, they say with the clouds. You know, when they add those chemicals that I don't know why they're trying to control the weather. Bombardear with silver iodide, right? Hi, what's going on? What? Just leave the clouds alone. All right, what else? Any more? And, of course, si añadimos la palabra bird, es alpiste. O sea, la comida de pájaros, right? And, there are many other ones as well. As I said, sésamo, semilla o grano de sésamo. Los de amapola se llaman poppy. Is anybody getting hungry for a bagel? Bueno, eso, si vais a comer bagels en Estados Unidos, tienes que saber todas esas semillas. El mejor, an everything bagel. Have you heard of one of these? I don't know if they've gotten to Spain yet. And I've been finding some good bagels in Spain. Not the ones at the supermarket. I mean at bagel shops. Everything bagel. Let's see what an everything bagel has on it. Okay. Ingredients. You should be. I mean, come on. You're intelligent, artificial intelligence, but you're not telling me the ingredients. That's what I want to know. Everything bagel. So it has sesame. Puedo decir sesame. Lo que no puedo decir es la segunda palabra, porque eso me lo vas a decir tú. So sesame, poppy, poppy, P-O-P-P-Y. ¿Alguien ve los trolls? Pues una de ellas se llama poppy. And es por amapola. Also dried onion and garlic. Now, let me tell you something. You will have dragon breath after it, but it's delicious. There's nothing. We call it an everything bagel porque es bueno, ponle un poco de todo ahí. And a lot of times they'll ask you, like if you go buy a dozen bagels, to bring home for the weekend to toast or whatever, and you say, and 2 everything bagels, they'll ask you, do you want those in a separate bag? Because the rest of the bagels are going to taste like garlic and onion if not. Now, it's delicious. It's my wife's favorite bagel. Okay, so semilla. También we said pepita when we talk about grapes, right? Different fruits have these as well. And the second word is ceder, renunciar, admitir, también puede ser. Same idea, right? Ceder, renunciar, admitir. See, I told you, the second one is straightforward. No hay mucha vuelta ahí, right? So, ceder, renunciar, admitir is the second word. The first one is semilla. It is also, as I said, the parts that come inside of different fruits and vegetables as well. And it's got many, many other meanings in tennis and other things like that. So those are your homophones, my amigos. Do you know the words, and do they sound exactly the same or not? And the Say What soundbite. That's right. We're going to listen to that right now for the third time. Everybody listen really carefully, because I know, as Chris said, that first word he uses is kind of tough. It's pretty tough even for a native speaker. But you know what? I've got faith in you guys. Here we go.
It's all preparation. I mean, you have to get there to that point. What John was saying, there's a lot of things that are subtly happening in the scene. I haven't seen it since it came out, but
listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. More information about Vaughan Town, go on over to grupovaughn.com. All right, and you can find out more. Also, follow us on social media, and this way you won't miss any special offers, any events that we've got coming up, because sometimes we have open houses. You say puerta abierta, we say casa abierta, open house sessions. So follow us on social media. Also, remember, Aprende Inglés con Vaughan on YouTube. Someone can tell me, you guys can look it up right now, but I would say there are around 200, 300, maybe more videos. And with Richard Vaughan, with myself, with also many of the other Vaughan teachers as well. So don't forget, this summer, you've got so much English at your fingertips. And even when we take a little break here on the radio, you've got repeats. We're never going to leave you high and dry, to use the expression you guys used today. O sea, yo no te he dicho high and dry, lo habéis dicho vosotros. So great job. All right, let's see what we've got over here in the comments. Chris says, I don't like go through the motions. Cuidado. Like, te doy un truquito. Like, puedes decir, I like to go or I like going, right? And that's a common mistake, even though it's a very simple structure. So I like to go. I don't like to go. Or going. You can use infinitive or the gerund, right? What about with enjoy? Can we say I enjoy to go and I enjoy going? Well, we can say I enjoy going, but we can't say I enjoy to go, which is a common mistake. So con like, funcionan ambas. With love, what about love? Porque son errores muy comunes, eh? And the only reason Chris made the mistake is it seems like she's one of the few people participating in every section. So the more you participate, the higher the odds are. But also, this is great because don't you dare think that this is just a mistake that Chris made. So I don't like, what else did we say? So like is to or ing. Enjoy is only ing. What about the opposite? I hate. I hate to do this to you, or I hate doing this to you. Ambos. So here's a little trick. Like and love, you can use to, and those are the common ones, really. You can use to or ing. With enjoy, por eso siempre digo, no uses enjoy porque estás limitando. So I don't like to go through the motions, but I really like this expression. Well, then that's exactly how you would use it. I don't like going through the motions. I don't like people who go through the motions, right? And I would never think of you as somebody like that. Quite the contrary. I think of you as somebody who gives 110%, as we looked at yesterday. All right. Speaking of people who give 110%, here's open waters. Open waters, the first word, the second word, te lo has inventado ahí. I've never seen that second word. Okay. All right. He's like, okay. He realizes his mistake and he put it correctly. All right. Now I can judge it. Porque si me inventas palabras, entonces no puedo juzgarlo. Porque estamos hablando de dos palabras diferentes. But now we're on the same page, open waters. The first word's correct, the second word's correct, and you say they're homophones. Born to Iron Man says they sound alike, and also Chris Valrol says they sound alike. All right, well, there's just one way to find this out, okay? I am going to cede this seed to you. Yes. And in the past tense, they sound the same as well. He seeded those seeded seeds, right? He seeded the seeds. You can also say to sow as well, the seeds. We probably know it if you're from the 80s like me. Sowing the seeds of love, the seeds of love, sowing the seeds of love. Oh, and my favorite, pipas. How can I forget? I had a student said, Alberto, you like pipes? I'm like, tubería? Like, no, pipes. I'm like, pipes? Pipes, like una pipa de fumar, like, no, pipes, y hace el gesto de las pipas, and I'm like, you mean sunflower seeds? So we're quite English, we're quite literal in English, and we say sunflower seeds. All right. And don't forget, it's got all those other meanings as well. So you've got, I'll plant some tomato seeds for my garden this year. And you can also use it as not just what you plant, but then what's inside. This tomato has too many seeds, man. I don't like the texture. So that's semilla, pepita, pepa. So if your name is Pepa, your name is seed in English. You've planted the seed of an idea in my mind. Otro ejemplo, en el sentido, in the figurative sense there, right? Ah, claro, no te dije esto. In the literary sense, his seed, sperm, yeah, eso es literario. His seed produced 2 sons. Okay, su semilla, so that's another. I guess that one's, you don't hear that one too much. As it says here, it's literary. You do hear seed in sports as well. You hear about cloud seeding as well, again, which, why are we putting metal into heavy metals into the sky? Were they like, hello? Are we crazy? Have we lost our minds here? So, here, y me encanta la palabra, la traducción en inglés, cuando se refiere a nubes, bombardear. O sea, no puede quedar más claro. Like, leave the clouds, the weather, the sky, whatever it is you're trying to manipulate, leave it alone. The planet has done just fine without anybody meddling. And to meddle, meddle, is entrometerse. Okay? Inmiscuirse. Well, I never heard. To interfere, right? To meddle is to interfere. All right, well, my amigos, we've got to keep moving on right now. And I think you know what time it is. It's time for today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, welcome to our Spelling Bee, amigos. Today we are traveling to a foreign land, a land I've never been to and have no desire to go to. It's funny, I was just talking about this with my wife yesterday. Some people go here on a pilgrimage. Peregrinaje, that's how you say it? A pilgrimage. Steve Jobs, George Harrison from the Beatles. It's the place. But all I know, and I'm not trying to be racist or classist or anything like that, but all I know is every video I've ever seen on Instagram of this place makes me not want to go. Hey, different strokes for different folks. I believe that. Different strokes for different folks. Para gustos, los colores. All right, as always, listen carefully. I am going to fly through these words in round one. Let's capitalize the first letter of each word. Here we go. The first one is M-U-M-T-A-Z space M-A-H-A-L. The next one, C-H-I-L-D-B-I-R-T-H. The third one, M-U-G-H-A-L space E-M-P-E-R-O-R. The fourth one, S-H-A-H space J-H. No, excuse me. I'll start that one again. The fourth one, S-H-A-H space J-A-H-A-N space Roman numeral 1. The fifth one is M-A-U-S-O-L-E-U-M. And the last one is T-A-J-M-A-H-A-L. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look over here at what we've got. A couple people already taking a stab at it here. And let's see. The first one to participate is Chris Valro. Let's see. Chris, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. Yes, it is. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one as well. And the sixth one is incorrect. All right. Okay. All right. Not bad. Let's, good effort. You almost close, but no cigar, as we say. Born to Iron Man. The first one is correct. The second one as well. The third one is correct. And you're missing a Roman numeral in the fourth one. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Open waters. The first one is sin. Ooh, tough one today, huh? Really tough one today. All right, I'll tell you what, folks. It's time for round 2. The good news, I'm going to slow down considerably in this round. All right, here we go. The first one, MUMTAZ space MAHAL. The next one, CHILDBIRTH. The third one, MUGHAL space EMPEROR. The fourth one, SHAH space JAHAN Roman numeral 1. I should have said space Roman numeral 1 is the correct thing. Normally there's a space, but you think it's a given, se da por hecho, but space, mejor. The fifth one, MAUSOLEUM. And the last one, TAJ space MAHAL. So, does anybody recognize the first name there? Mumtaz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Mumtaz Mahal was her last name. That Mahal sound familiar? Mumtaz Mahal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she was the woman who inspired the famous Taj Mahal. That's right. Mumtaz Mahal was her name. And she died during childbirth. Okay, so Mumtaz Mahal was number 1. Number 2 was childbirth. El parto, childbirth. And her husband, Mughal Emperor, that was number 3. Mughal Emperor, Shah Jahan the First, that was number 4. These aren't exactly easy words. And as you can see in the first one, I didn't even get that one right myself. I was like, wait a second. Okay. The fifth word was mausoleum. How do you say mausoleum? Me suena que es algo latina, no? Mausoleo? Mausoleum? In English, it's mausoleum. And I know there's a mausoleo. Yeah. In Spanish, mausoleo is the word. Well, in English, it's not mausoleum. Mausoleum. And it was a mausoleum that he built. I think the biggest grave in the world, la tumba más grande del mundo. And it's called the Taj Mahal. Also, I remember when I was a kid, the Taj Mahal was a casino owned by none other than el mismísimo DJT. You know who DJT is? Donald J. Trump. Yeah. And you know, a lot of people suffer from TDS. Bueno, os voy a dejar esa ahí. A ver si podéis describirme durante el descanso. What does TDS stand for? What does TDS stand for? A little challenge for you to think about during the break. Folks, we'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. Now I see on the second round, we've got a lot of people who figured out today's spelling bee. Give it up for your classmates. Open Waters, Chris Valrol, and Born 2, Iron Man. Yeah. Great job, folks. Yeah. Oh, let's take a look at that TDS. Let's see. Chris says TDS stands for tax deducted at source. Oh, okay. I had no idea. I'm sure, right? It's like ETA. In English, no, it's ETA. It's estimated time of arrival. So it's a very dangerous one in Spain. In English, it's para cuando espero tal cosa. What's the ETA on that report? When can I expect it? Estimated time of arrival. The TDS I was looking for was, since I said DJT, well, Trump derangement syndrome. What does that mean? That means the mere mention of his name drives people crazy, his detractors. I'm not a fan. If you're saying I just think it's funny because I've seen it. I've seen people, even if you say, well, if he ends the Ukraine war, well, then good, whether you like the man or not. But I'm all for ending wars and ending death and mass spending. Sure. Now, one thing is what he promises, and one thing is what he does. That's with all politicians. But then some people be like, well, he's a scumbag. I'm like, no, but I'm not talking about his person. So it's people, and it happens. I don't know in Spain as much because I don't think you guys have too much to do with Trump or with American politics. As I always tell people who are so angry about Trump or how things are done in the United States, I simply say, I think we have our own problems to deal with here in Spain. Would you agree? Okay, so let's focus on our own politics. So yeah, Trump derangement syndrome. It just means the mere mention of his name will drive you crazy. And I've seen it. It's a real thing. That's why I'm laughing. And again, I am neither a supporter. I don't support any rich billionaires. Sorry. It's not like I think they're all the same story. It's a circus, and it's all distracting us from the bigger picture. But I do like to see people go off the handle when his name is mentioned. I think sometimes I even provoke people. I'm like, let's see if there's any TDS at this table. And I'll just say, oh, have you heard that Trump did this with the tariffs? Los aranceles, la palabra del siglo. And they're like, ah, rah, rah. They start like foaming at the mouth. Le sale saliva y todo. And I personally would never give anybody that power over me. Even my worst enemy, which I don't even think I have a worst enemy, would not have that power over me to make me, change my whole attitude and change the way I'm reacting and the way I feel. But also, it's a time in the United States where, let's be honest, I do not think we are at our best right now. I don't think many people do. And I've seen the change firsthand. I mean, I used to come here in the 80s and everyone was like, Michael J. Fox, Michael Jordan, Gatorade, the American way. It was like, James Dean, blue jeans. And it was like, whoa. And then once that novelty wears off, pierde su tal, and they say, okay, but what country are we bombing now? Then the blue jeans things, the Hollywood thing, it kind of loses its luster. And so again, every country, I think, has their own shit to deal with. And when I say shit, I mean politicians. And when I say politicians, I mean all of them. So if you think, well, my guy's good, no, he isn't. My girl's going to save the world. No, she isn't. Trust me. Nobody's going to save you but yourself. Remember that. All right, amigos. I won't get political. That's me getting, para que veas. Eso es yo mojándome políticamente. That's me getting political, saying they're all liars, they're all cheats, and none of them care about you. And you know what? I think that's something we can all agree on. Doesn't matter what party you belong to, if you do belong to a party, or who you voted in the last election, we are getting screwed. Screwed is another way of saying Fucked. And if you don't think so, take a look at your receipt, el ticket de la compra. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. And if you have one from, 5 years ago, take a look at that one too. And then tell me what you're thinking. All right, amigos, let's change gears, though, because we've got a lot of stuff to cover today in the fourth part, and we're going to put the pedal to the metal with today's double trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up.
Double trouble. Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on.
Double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, my amigos. I figured this would be a really funny one here for the holiday season for what you call, and I think it's one of the funniest Spanish expressions ever, Operación Bikini. It's brilliant. You guys, you are masters at idiomatic expressions. I'm telling you, you are. As somebody who's heard many and many languages, because I love those totally natives, you guys are awesome. Sujeta velas. I mean, come on. That is a great, great idea. And anybody can see it, right? Well, he's the candle holder. Oh, so it makes sense. All right, here we go. Estoy poniendo unas libras de más. He puesto libros. Oh, just one letter changes everything. Unas libras de más. Remember, I don't do the kilos thing, guys. Estoy poniendo unas libras de más. No sé qué poner o qué meter. Voy a cambiar poner porque no quiero. Lo que no estoy buscando es put. Bueno, te dejo. Listen, you can do whatever you want. You got to use the same word twice, and it's got to be correct. Estoy poniendo unas libras de más. No sé qué meter en la maleta. There you go, folks. So you're haciendo la maleta para tu viaje, ves que los vaqueros no, y dices, oh, ¿qué me llevo? All right, so estoy poniendo unas libras de más. No sé qué meter en la maleta. It's your double trouble. You have to use the same word twice, as always in our double trouble. Also, here's your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
It's all preparation. I mean, you have to get there to that point. What John was saying, there's a lot of things that are subtly happening. The scene, I haven't seen it since it came out, but
¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop.
That's right, amigos. Stay in the loop. Mantente al tanto al día. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. He's a guy who's in the loop. Let's see if he got today's double trouble. He says, I'm putting on some extra pounds. I don't know what to put in the suitcase. I'll give it to you. Great job. I'm putting on some extra pounds. You can say kilos, obviously. And I don't know what to put in the suitcase. All right, I've got another one written down here in the script. Does anybody want to try and get the other way to say it? It is correct, Born to Iron Man. That's why you got your applause, and it works. Fine. It's totally fine. Oh, somebody's putting on some extra pounds, huh? Y el on no es negociable. It's not you're putting extra pounds. You're putting on extra pounds. Right? And to put something in the suitcase. Pero ¿cómo es el verbo poner algo en la maleta? hacer la maleta. Maybe that'll give you a little clue there. All right. Well, we've looked at this recently. We looked at to pack versus to unpack, right? Well, what if I told you you can say to pack on some pounds? So you can say to put on some pounds or to pack on. You're starting to pack on some pounds, man. To put y pack en este significado son intercambiables. So I'm starting to pack on, empaquetar, I'm starting to pack on some extra pounds. And now I don't know what to pack. No sé qué llevarme, qué meter o poner en la maleta. Excellent job, Born to Iron Man. And I hope it's not based on a true story. In my case, right now it's not. I've been trying to stay away from beer as much as I love it because, well, we all know beer will help you pack on some extra pounds easily. So, especially if you have a six-pack. Oh, podría haber sido un triple trouble. I'm starting to pack on some extra pounds from drinking six-packs. And now I don't know what to pack. And my wife is going to send me packing. Oh, toma, quadruple trouble. Me va a mandar a tomar viento. She's going to send me packing. To send somebody packing is hazte la maleta. All right, amigos, we're always playing with words here, but now it's time to extract some words from pop culture from Name That Movie. Name That Movie. All right, my amigos, are you ready? This is today's movie, and I don't know what this movie was called in Spanish. Well, we can find out now. Let's see if you recognize the plot of it. The plot, la trama, you say. A shallow man. Now, shallow is como la parte poco honda de la piscina. You've got the shallow end and the deep end. All right, so but when we talk about a person, no muy profundo. So a shallow man falls in love with a 300-pound woman because of her inner beauty. Hey, we were just talking about packing on the pounds, right? So a shallow man falls in love with a 300-pound woman because of her inner beauty, por lo que lleva dentro. Su belleza interior, her inner beauty. A lot of times we talk about your inner child, tu niño interior, right here on the show. Your inner child, your inner beauty. All right, well, let's take a look at the scene, and we'll see if anybody can figure it out over here. Tony Robbins, you know this guy? Well, he's in the movie, and he plays himself. You know Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker? Yeah, there's another clue. He's in this movie, and he plays himself, a motivational speaker. And Tony Robbins says, you've got a pattern of judging women by their exterior. Tienes un patrón de juzgar a las mujeres por su exterior. We can't talk about it. We need to break it. Tenemos que romper con ello. I want you to ask yourself, has there ever been a time where you have been increasingly shallow? You just looked at a woman and thought you were better than she was? And Hal, his name is Hal, he says, all the time, siempre me las miro con desprecio, como si yo soy mejor que ellas. And Tony Robbins puts his hand on Hal's head, and he says, devils, come out! Sal, demonios. And Hal says, what the hell are you doing, banana hands? O sea, que tiene dedos grandes y gordos. What the hell are you doing, banana hands? ¿Qué demonios haces, banana hands? And Tony Robbins says, just hang on. We've looked at that one. Hang on. Espera. It's another way of saying espera. Okay. Just hang on. Remember how I told you we just got to jolt your nervous system? And to jolt is dar un chute, I think would be. How would they say jolt? Like a jolt of electricity. So the verb, dar una descarga, sacudir, right? Impactar would be the figurative sense. So he says, remember how I told you we just got to jolt your nervous system? He goes, not just talking about it. Now I want you to relax. I won't do that again. And then Hal says, okay, I didn't mean the banana hands thing. Lo siento. I didn't mean as no quise, right? It's another way of saying lo siento por. I didn't mean the banana hands things. And Tony Robbins says, oh, that's okay. All right, Chris Valrol got it. It's Shallow Hal. Shallow Hal. Hey, they translate. It's got a good name in Spanish. Shallow Hal, Amor Ciego. Yeah, because basically he gets hypnotized and he sees women for their inner beauty. They give him that jolt that they're talking about. And, well, Gwyneth Paltrow is in the movie, Jack Black, Tony Robbins as himself. Chris says, I still remember the girls' panties. Really huge. Yeah, this was a funny movie and kind of a good lesson, too. Like, don't judge people, man. You shouldn't be judging people for what's on the outside, but you should be judging them for what they have on the inside. So a good moral to the story, and it's quite funny as well. It came out in 2001. All right, my amigos, we need to move on because it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
All right, folks. Well, since we were talking about seeds before and sowing seeds, I figured why don't we take a look at some gardening jokes now that everything is in bloom, floreciendo. Here we go. Let's see if you get these jokes. I think they're great ones today. Seriously, straight up. My wife is furious at our next door neighbor who sunbathes nude in her garden. Okay. So mi mujer está cabreadísima at our next door neighbor who sunbathes, que toma el sol, nude, naked, in her garden. Personally, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. Estoy en la valla mirando. I'm on the fence. Estoy indeciso. Personally, I'm on the fence. All right. Well, the expression to be on the fence is I haven't made a decision yet. All right. You know something? When I was younger, I used to make loads of money clearing leaves from gardens. Oh, yeah. True story. I was working in landscaping, embellecimiento de jardines. Yeah. So I would always remove the leaves from the property. And you could say I was raking it in. Oh, no, I didn't. Well, a rake is what you remove leaves with, right? Rastrillo. But also to rake it in es forrarse. No piensa, estás haciendo así con el dinero, con el rastrillo. Trae pa' acá. So you're raking it in, man. That new idea was great. You're really raking it in. That means you are. Te estás forrando. Estás ganando mucha pasta. So you get it? I was raking it in. The rake. All right, last one. A friend dug a hole. Dig, dug. Cavar. A friend dug a hole in the garden. Yeah, a big hole that he dug in the garden, and he filled it with water. I think he meant well. You get it? Okay, a friend dug a hole, un agujero, in the garden and filled it with water. I think he meant well. Creo que tuvo buenas intenciones, pero creo que quiso decir pozo. I think he meant well. A hole in the garden with water. Bueno, I mean well. Tengo buenas intenciones. There you go, folks. Those are your jokes, but it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, our first birthday boy was born today in 1958, an American director, producer, and screenwriter. A lot of times he works alongside his brother Peter. In fact, they are known as the brothers. So they're so famous as a team of filmmakers that oftentimes people refer to them as the brothers instead of their real names. And Peter is the other one. So that's, you got 50-50 if you know these brothers. Now, what movies have they done? Some of the greatest comedies ever. Dumb and Dumber, Dos Tontos Super Tontos. There's Something About Mary, Algo Pasa con Mary. There's Something About Mary. Me, Myself, and Irene, that was a good one too. Shallow Hal. Hey, wait, we saw Shallow Hal in today's Name That Movie. Well, if you know the director, then you'll get this one. Number 2, this guy is the singer of the group Dead Kennedys. Now, his real name is Eric Reed Boucher, but nobody knows him by that. And we've looked at the group before. I think It's a Holiday in Cambodia, which is one of their most famous songs, but they've got so many others. So the lead singer of the Dead Kennedys. And last but not least, an American actor who was in The Lost Boys. What a classic. Rush, Sleepers, otra que fue buenísima. Speed 2, Cruise Control, Your Friends and Neighbors, Narc, que Narc es narcotics officer, un infiltrado en la droga. The Alamo, My Sister's Keeper, The Losers, and many, many more. All right, guys. Number 1 is Bobby Farrelly, because the Farrelly brothers, so it's Peter and Bobby. Today's Bobby's birthday. Number 2, Jello Biafra. And number 3, Jason Patrick. Actor Jason Patrick. That's going to bring us over to our Say What soundbite. That tough word before, preparation. He's talking about how he prepares for a role, and he says it's all preparation. I mean, you have to get there to that point. Tienes que saber, no, en la escena cómo llegar a si hay que llorar. You have to get there to that point. What John was saying, esa parte era difícil también. Lo que decía John. He says what John was saying. There's a lot of things that are suddenly happening in the scene. And then he says, but I haven't seen it since it came out. But so he used a homophone there, seen and seen. Here he is, actor Jason Patrick.
It's all preparation. I mean, you have to get there to that point. What John was saying, there's a lot of things that are subtly happening in the scene. I haven't seen it since it came out, but...
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. This is Name That Lyric. I can't believe it. We've reached the end of the show. That applause is for you. Those of you who participate every day, those of you who are showing up, you're going the extra mile. You're not just going through the motions. You know who you are. Keep it up is all I can say. You guys are on the right track. Don't forget to participate in our question of the week. That's an opportunity for you to speak and be guided and corrected by a teacher every week. And it's a way to make sure you're speaking and putting into practice all this English you're learning. So participate. Tell us the most flattering compliment you've ever received. And today's song is Dead Kennedys because it's Jello Biafra's birthday, and it's the song Chemical Warfare. Yeah, remember, their songs are extremely anti-establishment. And establishment son los que dirigen todo, ¿no? La clase, I forget the way they say it, la clase, the ruling class, the people who make all those decisions without us. And if you're a rebel or have ever been a rebel, then you're going to love the Dead Kennedys. Come on! Yes! Let's go! Thank you, everybody. Ciao for now.